We had technical difficulties. What can I say? And we ended up not going live on Facebook or YouTube, but we did go live on Instagram. So Instagram
And it was
people,
a mess.
I know it was already happening. So
My phone kept falling over.
I know it was just one of those things. So I'm actually now, while we're talking, I'm just checking the page to make sure that we are live. And
yes, and I actually
what can I say? It's looking good. Oh,
right, there we go. It just popped up on my phone, so I know that we're live. So I'm going to blame El Nino.
it sounds good. And we are now live on everything. We are live on. Thank
Rhiannon.
you. Let me.
Hi, Rhiannon.
Okay, let's get this chat up, shall we, guys?
Big kiss to Rhiannon. How are you going? How's married life? So anyway, when we went what we thought was live to Facebook and YouTube, but we weren't. We were just going live to Instagram. Well, we did answer some questions that people had, and we decided, well, you know what, we need to answer them again because they might have been waiting for Facebook to answer those questions.
Exactly. So
we're going to go round 2, and if any questions pop up, of course, I will answer them.
Exactly. And first of all, I just have an announcement to make. It's somebody's birthday today.
Yoda doesn't do birthdays, guys.
I know, but I would just like to say, on behalf of the thousands, happy birthday.
Well, thank you, Sarah. I've just never been a real birthday kid.
No?
Nah, birthdays, Christmas, Easter, it just doesn't faze me. It's just another day.
Oh, well. I just want to ask you, can you see that reply from Rhiannon that's come up?
Yes, she says,
okay, awesome.
You are live. And she goes, we are good, thank you. Hope you're
Excellent.
I'm going very well, Rhiannon. Are you already working out a date to come back to renew your vows?
Okay.
Well, I will see you again.
Hopefully she will. I won't put the overlay up then, Sue, seeing you can read that, just so you know.
I can read it.
Okay, excellent. We just wanted to make sure, guys. So I think right now we just jump into the questions.
Let's go.
What do you reckon? Okay.
Do it.
Jackie, my bridesmaids are driving me crazy. They won't agree on anything for the wedding. Help.
Yes, bridesmaids. They'll always drive you crazy, just like girlfriends will always drive you crazy. But I think the biggest issue that brides have is they can't agree on a dress. So I might just go down that road, Sarah.
I think so.
How on earth could you expect everybody in your bridal party to wear the same dress? Like, if you go out with the girls and there's 6 of you, when do you ever wear the same clothes? No one's got the same taste. Someone might be tall, someone might be short, someone might be big, someone might be small. So unless they're all perfectly the same size and very happy to all look the same as each other, don't even go there. Just pick their own. Like, do you want strapless? Do you want straps? Do you want sleeves? As long as it's in the suitable colour tone to match your wedding, it'll look beautiful. And happy bridesmaids equals happy wedding day. So if any of my brides that have been married with us or weddings that are coming up that they're having these issues, please speak about it. So am I still getting messages coming up? Yes, I believe we are. I am, Sarah.
No, just the ones that are up there at the moment.
Oh, yes, I've actually got it on my phone too, just to make sure I don't miss anyone. So do you think I covered that for Jackie?
I think you have. So let's move on to Donna. Why is it so difficult to pick a date? My fiance and I just can't agree. Please help.
Look, there's 2 different types of people in the world. There's those that are incredibly date-driven, and the date is the most important part of the wedding. And then there's people like me that never knows what day it is anyway, never remembers anniversaries, birthdays, anything, who dates are irrelevant to me. So if you have to have a date and you cannot change that with the way things are in the world, how hard it is now to get a wedding venue because of everyone shifting, you may have to settle for a venue that's not as nice just to get your date. You've got to kind of do that, don't you, Sarah? Like, I think getting your dream venue, your dream suppliers is more important than a date, but you might not agree with me. Now, dates also, quite often a couple will agree on a date, and it's family that make it difficult, or it's your maid of honor says, oh no, that's my wedding anniversary that day, you can't be married that day, or it's your mum saying that's your grandmother's birthday, so have a birthday cake at the wedding and blow the candles out. It can be tricky, but you're going to have to communicate with everyone, and sometimes you might have to overrule mum or dad or nana or whoever's trying to say that date's no good.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true indeed. Well, I think just knocked a light there. Okay, I think that
Oh
that was
no, more
very
technical
good.
issues.
Oh no, we've had enough for today. Thank
We've
you.
had more than enough technical issues today, I'm telling you. If it's not the pandemic, it's El Nino or whatever's next.
All of the things. We'll just blame it all.
We'll just blame everything except ourselves.
Yes, I like that. Okay, Brian, how do we kiss when we kiss at the ceremony? That's a good question.
Hold the tongue, I say. When it comes to kissing at the ceremony, nobody needs to see your tonsils. So, a romantic kiss, go back in a couple of times, hold the kiss for a few seconds so that your photographer and videographer can capture it. Like, as a photographer over the years, you're ready, 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 and the couple can sometimes got that, and you're like, whoa, come on. And sometimes you've got to say, come on, go back in for a second one. So just remember, kiss for long enough for a photo, but you don't really have to go to town. Save that for later. Like, you might give Nan or Pop a heart attack. You might have to bring out the defib machine, Sarah. We do have a defib machine. Do you know that at the venue?
Oh, I'm pleased you do.
Yep,
I'm not
we're all
surprised,
about
though.
safety.
I'm not surprised because you've got everything.
Got everything. Yeah.
Times 2 usually. So
You're right about that.
also, so let's have a look here. Oh, we've got a fellow Sarah. She must be fabulous. Hi, Sarah. Okay, Sarah asks, how do we make sure that everyone gets a photo with us on the wedding day?
Very easy. You just have to be organised. So what we do at my venue is, after the wedding, bride and groom announce, walk down the aisle, throw confetti, bridal party follow, family and friends follow. We actually stop the couple before they head over to the reception space. So every single person has to walk past them, which means everyone gets to give them a hug and a kiss. And your photographer should be capturing that natural, organic, congratulations, which makes for great photos. But if you want a photo, it's just going to take maybe 10 minutes longer. So after you get a hug and a kiss, just go, guys, turn that way, smile for the camera, off you go, get a drink. So that way it's all done and people won't hassle you all day and night for a photo. Then after that, you should put everyone together and get a big group photo. And group photos, sometimes people don't organise it and your photographer won't be bothered doing it because it takes a bit of hard work, but you need to have a group photo. I think they're awesome. Like, Sarah, when you got married, did you have a group photo?
I don't think I did. My photographer
but you had
was
the best photographer.
Oh, sorry,
I can't believe that he didn't do a group photo.
No, well, hello. My photographer that turned up in a bright red jumper and who was just horrible, and I still don't have the proper wedding photos.
How many years ago?
Oh, nearly 20, I think.
20 years ago. I'm afraid that I just do tease Sarah a little bit about her wedding photos because she had an absolute disaster and still to this day hasn't even got all of her wedding photos. So sometimes a photographer just can be lazy and doesn't want to do it, and quite often you need a ladder or something for them to stand up so you can shoot everyone, because often they're stuck behind. Are we still getting messages, Sarah? I'm just checking.
I can't. They're not coming up here in the chat. So I'm not sure. If anybody
that El Nino.
It is. If anyone can hear us, just let us know in the chat if you don't mind, so then we can just make sure everything is still working. Because
as we said earlier, I can hear you.
As we said earlier, we had so many technical problems, and that's why we're late today. But
crazy, we got first day of summer, hey? First day of summer, and good segue into brides that say, I'm not getting married in May, June, July, or August because it rains. I'm only going to get married in September, October, November, December, January. Well, let me tell you, it rains more in the hot weather than it does in the cold weather. So you've actually got less of a chance of rain if you get married May, June, July, and August. So look at my brides that have said, I'm getting married in December because I want a lovely, sunny, warm day. El Nino till Christmas, they're saying. That's another
Yes.
4 weeks of rain and floods.
Yes, that's crazy. I was an
And Sarah
August
asked me,
bride.
what's my favourite month of the year people should get married?
Oh, winter.
Yeah, I love
Is
May.
it?
Yeah,
When
I
are your
love
favourite
May
times?
weddings and June. And because I hate summer, I love cold weather. I even love July weddings because, hey, it's cold. Do you know what it's like to be in a big wedding dress and have sweat running everywhere? And same with the boys in a suit. I love, love winter weddings. You can have a fire and you can put s'mores over the fire. And
Stop it. I want to get married again.
oh, that's right. I'm just watching cows running around on the other side.
Oh,
Bit
lovely.
random. I love the
That's
country,
very
don't you?
random.
You know that my neighbours are cows?
They're the best type. I've had cows as neighbours before.
Yeah,
They're
we've all
really
had
good.
cows as neighbours, but trust me, the real four-legged cows, they're the best.
Oh,
I'm
no, I
suspecting we're
actually
not
did.
getting messages. Hey, can I message myself?
Yeah, give it a crack.
I'll see if I can message myself.
Give it a crack. But
Oh.
I actually really did have cows for. Oh, yeah. Hello. Hi, Sue Taylor.
Oh, I'm not getting it. Oh, there we are. So there
Yeah.
you go. I just waved from myself. So did you say you
Okay.
did have cows?
Yeah, when we were living up in the Hunter Valley for a few years, we literally had cows as neighbours. They're fascinating creatures.
Debbie says hi.
Hi, Debbie.
Debbie,
How you doing? Good
how
job.
you
Oh, great.
doing?
At least we've got people there.
Yep,
That's
we
great.
got people there. It's all
Okay.
good.
So Sarah, yeah, we hope that answered your question, and
Yes.
let's move on to the next one. We have Rebecca. What's the difference between a wedding planner and a wedding coordinator?
Ah, a wedding planner is simply somebody that plans your wedding from start to finish, whether it be 2 months or 2 years. A coordinator is the person who's at the wedding on the day, simply coordinating all the hard work that the planner did. So, and good to see you, great Debbie. So, herein lies a little bit of an issue. If you have a planner that's been with you from day dot, who knows everything about your wedding, but then decides not to be there on the wedding day, and yes, it happens, they need to tell the coordinator what's going on. Very, very important. So, what I do, Sarah, because with my business, I do all the planning. And then, if I'm not going to be there on the wedding day, I break 30 or 40 pages over the years down to maybe 10 pages with headings for my whole team. So, everybody knows what's going on. So, even if something happened to my coordinator, everyone knows these are the flowers, this is the time they're coming, this is the songs that are being played, this is the cake, this is the parents' names, watch out for stepmom because she's a monster, like all the little notes that we desperately need like that on a wedding day.
Yes.
It means that the coordinator or any one of my team members can just pull off the wedding and know every single bit of information. So two very different roles.
Yes, very different indeed. And I think that a lot of people are confused with that because the names do get a little bit mixed up in interpretation. And also, then you add in like a venue wedding coordinator, what do they do? And then you add in an on the day coordinator. There's so many things, and I think people really get confused. So the best thing is just to communicate and ask the person that you're hiring what they're going to do for you.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, it's wedding venues' faults because they like to throw these names around.
Hmm.
Makes, I think, the venue feel more important when it's actually really confusing. And what you're doing is you're setting up a bride for disappointment. If you call them a planner, then where's my planner on the wedding day? Oh, they're not here. Hello, what?
Hmm.
So yeah, just always remember, guys, if you're at a venue and they're calling them something, just say, can I be very clear? Is the person who's helping me plan this wedding going to be there on the wedding day with us? Or do we have another person? And if so, maybe could I have a phone conversation with them? Communication. So be clear. And Sarah, you said communication is everything to make sure you don't have mistakes with your wedding. But in life in general, communication is what ruins so many things in life.
That's very true. But just back quickly to the venue. Also, the thing is that people need to ask if they are going to a venue is if the actual coordinator is only going to coordinate the aspects of the venue, or are they going to actually help with other elements as well? So are they going to make sure your flowers are on time? Are they going to make sure your cake's there? Those sorts of things. Whereas most of the times, venue wedding coordinators, they're just there to make sure the entrees are right. They're there to remind you and to guide you to the ceremony location. Just little things like that. I think that, well, I know as a bride, when I got married like 100 years ago, that confused me, and that was before I was doing weddings. So just be mindful and communicate and find out what it is they will and won't do.
I think that's a very valid point, Sarah. And Nick, my partner, is saying, Happy birthday, honey. Thank
Oh,
you.
good
Thank
job,
you.
Nick. Good
I've got my
job.
presents sitting out there. I'll wait till he gets home till I open different presents. So I'm not one of those people that have to open my presents straight away. I can wait. I'm really weird like that. But yes, very valid point is I think that you can get to a venue and just expect somebody to come and get you when it's time to get married. Check are the boys' buttonholes pinned on and all that. And when they don't, that's what makes weddings run late, and it's what
Yes.
makes people um, really disappointed on their wedding day because it just all goes to shit, basically. I mean,
Yeah.
Sarah, I don't know how many weddings you did with me as my assistant when I was a photographer. In half the wedding day, I'd have Sarah running around looking after the wedding because no one else was going to.
Yeah. That's good on the job training, I could say.
Well, you learnt quick, didn't you? Which is a good
Yeah.
segue. And thank you, Debbie. I believe Yoda is, I don't know, I have to look it up, either hundreds of years old or thousands. I can't quite remember, but I feel hundreds of years old some days. So this is the reason why I wrote my book, guys. I literally wrote
Yeah.
this book from all the experience over the years. And I used to say to Sarah, how on earth does a bride navigate their wedding? How do you know? How do you,
Yeah.
where do you learn this?
You don't.
And you can't learn by your mistakes because you only get, well, you want to hope you only get that sort of day once. So hence why it's a pretty big, thick book. It took me 10 years to put everything I know about weddings in. Like I would drive around, that might have been before I met you, Sarah. And I was based on the Central Coast, driving to Sydney for a wedding. I'd leave home at like 8 in the morning. I'd get home at 1 o'clock the next morning
Yeah.
on the road on my own. I'd get to the boys' house and there was just disaster. I'd get to the girls' house, there was disaster. So I started just getting my phone, and it wasn't very good technology back then, just doing like recording into my phone. And I would just drive along going, oh my God, when I was at the groom's, this happened, that happened, until I had hundreds of these recordings that I realized I had to then be turned into a book to help people out so that they're pre-warned.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, wedding professionals do it all the time, and the average person doesn't. And that's why we know all the tips and tricks and
We
why they
do it
don't.
all the time. Like I get people on wedding days come up to me and just go, you guys are just unbelievable. Like every little thing. Like, but I said, but that's what we do. This is
Yeah.
full-time commitment. This is what we do. We know what's going to go wrong and we have everything ready. Like if the bride's dress breaks, which every second wedding bride's dress breaks, we've got to get needle and thread, we've got to stitch it up, we might have to put an extra hook on it, we might have to fix their hair, they might need bobby pins, boys' shoe breaks, the heel snaps off, we've got glue, we've got clamps. I mean, it's only because it's happened and we know it could happen that we're so
Exactly.
prepared. But you're not going to be prepared like that on your wedding day.
Not at all.
So that's
Not
why
at
I
all.
wrote my book, to absolutely help people, unless you do a wedding, with me, you get me. But unfortunately, not everyone can do that, because I couldn't deal with hundreds of thousands of weddings a year that happen all over the country. So not everyone gets me, but they can get my book.
Good plan, good plan. And I will just jump into the last question, if we may.
Sure.
From Kimmy. Now,
Kimmy.
Kimmy has had to reschedule her wedding for the third time and she keeps losing deposits. What can she do to get some money back?
Okay, boy, I know about this, don't I? Because this is year 2, round 100 of this pandemic. So what happened, I'll tell you about personal experience. When it hit, I can still remember the day when it hit. I was actually at my venue at Mistwood in the office, and my phone was going mental, and we were like, what is going on? We didn't understand it, but we had to get our head around it really quick. So we made the decision that we wouldn't financially penalize anybody. We would just pick their date up. We would just keep moving it and moving it and moving it until we could do it. Now, that hurt a lot. Financially, it was an absolute killer to not do weddings for such a long time. But we made the decision that it was important that the business was still going to be there down the track. So if it meant we had to hurt for a bit, that was everything to us. But some venues couldn't go the distance, couldn't survive, and they closed. And if that happened, it's probably not much chance you're ever going to get your money back, guys, because they've probably closed because they're bankrupt. It's that simple. Now, over 50% of wedding businesses have closed down with the last round in 2021, and I really feel for them. I'm sure they tried everything to make it happen. But those venues that didn't, I think it's reasonable for people just to keep moving. But also, if your wedding was booked in 2020 and it's now moved to 2022 or 2023, it's not unreasonable for them to say, we need to just charge an extra 3%, 5%, because everything goes up over the years. And by them doing that, that might be enough to save their business. So be reasonable. If it's going to cost you a little bit more, I think that's okay. If a venue flat out says, oh, well, too bad, no, you've lost your deposit, I think that's a little unreasonable and fair if they're not also going to offer you another date, and you can take that up with Department of Fair Trading. That's not fair. Now, the issue you're going to have that my couples didn't have was my couples dealt with me. And I have caterer, photographer, videographer, florist, hair and makeup, cake makers, stylists. I have everybody. So I don't have to call them all and say, are you available? I just move it. But you're not all going to be that lucky, which means you might have booked a venue, photographer, videographer, caterer, florist, hair and makeup, cake maker, stylist. What if I missed, Sarah? You might have booked 10
all of the things.
different suppliers.
Yep.
So venue goes, I've got 2 dates left for the year. You can have this one or this one. And you go, great, we'll have that one. Call your photographer. No, sorry, I'm booked that day. Call your videographer. Yes, I'm available. Call your hair and makeup. No, I'm not. Call your florist. Yes, I am. So what does that mean? It means all the ones that can shift, great. All the ones that can't, you lose all those deposits and you have to start again.
Yeah.
It's not unreasonable
ideal
for them to say, I'm really sorry, we can't give the deposit back because we're offering another date. But how on earth do you fit those 10 suppliers into the one date? That's what's going to be difficult. So you might have to trade off. You might go, I've managed to move 8 of them, 2 I can't move. You might say, my photographer is the only photographer I want, they're not available. I will shift a year just to have that photographer. But you also got to remember, if something goes wrong, that photographer might not be in business in a year. So I would do whatever you could with the majority to make it work as soon as you can make it work. But it's difficult, Sarah. I see it from the couple's side, and I see it as a supplier. And I sit right in the middle of understanding both sides. I think be fair, be reasonable, and know that they are a small business trying to make it work, just like everyone else is trying to make it work.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's very tricky, and yeah, it's just
what
very
about, do you
tricky.
think, Sarah, you know the stress you had with your wedding, planning it like 20 years ago? Just
Almost
that stress, right? You didn't have this. Can you imagine?
Oh no, it's horrendous.
If you had to put on top of that all these constant moving dates. Oh, now, yes, now my auntie and uncle can come from Victoria, now they can't. Now my friend can come from Queensland, now she can't. How do you deal with that stress?
Yeah. No, it's just dreadful. It's just dreadful. And it's just so sad that people have to go through this.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's always changing and realistically,
Yes.
we don't know what's going to happen next week, let alone in 3 months from now. So it's very hard, and I'm very grateful that I'm not planning a wedding right now because, I send my love to everyone who is, because it's just not a good situation to be in, especially when it should be about you becoming a family with your other person. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and
And those
fun.
sorts
It
of
should be
things, and
fun
fun, and yeah,
planning a wedding. So
yeah,
that's why my business has never been busier.
yeah,
And we're pushing through weddings like no other wedding venue would even know how to do in the state because of what we're offering. So I really feel for those people out there trying to do it on their own. And I really hope that my book navigates you and guides you. But you're still up for a stressful time. And Sarah, I'll probably say, if your wedding is just causing you grief and stress and affecting your health and affecting your relationship, just can it and elope.
yeah,
Sometimes you've got to cut your losses and say, all right, we've just lost $2,000 of deposits. You've got to weigh it up. Do you want to be arguing with your partner on your wedding day, or do you want to be having the best time ever? Sometimes you've got to cut your losses and just look after yourself.
yeah. That's true. That's true. And look, honestly, that's probably what I would do.
I've had a lot of brides do that. Just
Yeah.
say, forget it, we're going to elope.
And then when things settle down in a few years, then I'd probably look at having a big reception party then.
And renew your vows and
Yeah.
do it that way.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't, I really understand my brides that say, listen, as it is, I suffer anxiety. I'm not
Mm.
sleeping at night. My health is suffering. What, just for one day? I'll support them on that. We'll just elope them.
Yeah, it's very difficult, but yeah, I really hope that that's helped Kimmy, because it's just not good. It's not good at all.
And it's not going to change anytime soon. We've got this government that's just got us on a roller coaster. And what is it, December now? We're going to be on this
Yeah.
roller coaster till Christmas. We're going to be on this roller coaster in January, February, March, April. And then guess what? Winter's coming back. So, guys,
Yeah.
just be
Yeah.
prepared. And if you've got guests coming from weddings from interstate, I think just accept the fact they might not be able to come, and don't keep changing your date for it. Just go ahead with it, full steam ahead. Keep the guests that you've got in New South Wales and just do it, because it's going to keep happening.
Yeah. It's sad but true, unfortunately.
It is.
Anyway, that's all of our questions, but I was just thinking you're probably going to be like, I don't think so, but it is your birthday. And
Yeah.
I know that you don't like celebrating, but why don't we give everyone a gift
Ooh.
for your birthday?
But
Why
what about
don't
everybody gives me a gift? How many followers have I got?
Oh,
That's
I
a lot
don't
of
know.
gifts,
There's
isn't it?
too many. Too many. That would be a lot of gifts. You'd be
We can
there.
do a GoFundMe page.
Well, we can do that. But no, I was actually thinking, why don't, for your birthday, anyone that sends you an email will send them a PDF copy of your book.
Ooh. So
Does
what
that
that
sound
is,
okay?
what that is rather than the hard copy, it's actually in a PDF format. So you can have it on your phone. It's very handy.
And you can use it in
And
good
you can have that
notes
for
as
free.
well.
Baby
Sounds good.
Yoda's
Hang on.
feeling very generous, isn't she?
I know.
You're gonna put
I'll
something
just
up?
give things away.
Look, I'm just going to use my little, don't know if you guys know that with this sort of umbrella of the business, I have all different arms of the business. Like Yoda of Weddings lifestyle. And one of my little umbrellas is gadgets, because I love gadgets.
Yes.
And this is one thing that I talk about. This is called a Peeps. And I hate dirty glasses. You can't see out of. And the only way I've ever been able to get them clean is with this little thing. It's got some carbon thing on it, and it takes all the grease and stuff off your glasses, but it also takes out minor scratches. I'm obsessed with them. They're like about $20 online. Oh my God. They're like new glasses. Remember I did it to your Sarah? You're like, oh my God, I've got like glasses.
I know.
They're actually
I've got
called
mine in
Peeps.
here too,
It'll probably
actually.
come up backwards. Peeps.
Yeah.
Have
They're
you got
really
yours
good.
there?
No, I don't. It's hidden somewhere in my office, but there's stuff everywhere from setting everything up and
Oh,
trying to get everything to work.
I bought like 20 of them, and I gave them to everyone I know that wears glasses. They're just so look. It's even got a little brush to brush the dirt off them. Love it.
Yes, they're very good. They're very good.
Love it.
So
Is
if
there any more
anyone is
questions?
no, that's it for
Okay,
today.
because I just want to mention one thing about
Sure,
the current situation with weddings.
sure.
A lot of people don't understand what rules and regulations there are around weddings, and there actually is hardly any. So, being an outdoor venue, we're classed as an outdoor venue, we have even less. You're just guided by the 4 square metre rule, which I believe they've cut back to 2 square metres now. So,
Yep.
your venue basically works out how many square metres it is and works out that each person can have 2 or 4 square metres of space if they need it. If it's an indoor venue, you'll have to have a lot less people because there's not fresh air, it's not a healthy environment. Outdoor venues are very few regulations. You can have food buffet tables, you can have those types of food. They just expect you to have a lot of jars of hand sanitizer around. Just get people to social distance a bit, and everyone use your common sense. And that's what we do. We use our common sense. We wear gloves. We sanitize. Just be sensible. We've got to live with this. There's no point stressing out. And if we have sign-ins, we just have a jar full of pens and then an empty jar. And one says clean pens and one says used. So if one person uses a pen, they put it in the used and we sanitize it and put it back. But generally, weddings are pretty well the same, guys. You don't have to wear masks at weddings either, which is
Nice.
really good because I don't know about you, but who hates wearing a mask? Ugh,
Yep.
do you hate
I
it?
have I have asthma, so it's really
I know,
really hard to breathe.
I know. Yep. And
Anyway,
your glasses all fog up. It's just
yep.
horrible. Hate it. So yeah, go ahead, have your wedding, but just use common sense. And if people are so freaked out and scared that they're going to die from COVID, well, just stay home. Don't go to your wedding. It's really that simple. You don't want a fearmonger at your wedding. It's the last thing you
Mm.
need.
Good point. Good point.
Yes.
So I think that's everything today. We were sorry about all the technical difficulties once
I
again
know.
and for
And
being
Sarah, I think we
late.
don't have as many people on because we're an hour late.
I know.
No,
Well,
two.
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 2 hours.
We said
I
10
know.
o'clock.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
What can you do?
Now, Sarah, when's our next live?
I think we spoke of the
Was it the.
15th.
Yeah, what day is that? Is that a.
That's Wednesday the 15th.
Okay, so Wednesday, the 15th of December is our next live because coming up, I've got 6 weddings in 9 days. So, yeah, it's
You're
a
going to be
lot.
busy.
So I've
Yeah.
just got to focus on that. But if you've got any questions,
Yes, if you have any questions, please send me an email, which is babyyodaofweddings@gmail.com, and I will pass them on to Sue, and she will get back to me, and then
yeah,
I will get back to you.
so she's just like my little, and then she just passes it on because I can really quickly answer it, but then she can write it so it doesn't look like I've just, you know, like that.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So please feel free to send through any questions that you have,
yeah,
and we will answer them in the meantime. Otherwise, we will answer
yes.
them live
And what we'll
on
do
the
is we'll do one
15th.
on the 15th and then we'll do another one before Christmas. And then we'll do our very best to do a few during January. It's another very busy wedding month in January because if everyone's shifting, they wanted to shift as soon as possible. And I would recommend anyone that can get their wedding done before winter kicks in for
Yeah,
next year, I would highly recommend doing it because my fear would be if the government's going to lock down again,
yeah,
they'll do
I
it
would
when it
agree.
gets to winter because everyone might get the flu. And so if you can get your wedding done in January, February, March, April, May, I would really
May was
recommend you do
pushing
it
it.
if you're
Yeah,
possible. May's even sitting on the border. So just using my Yoda crystal ball, that would be my fear with when they may consider doing it again.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, then, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us. We're going to head off now because
Yeah, sorry
we're
for being late.
way behind schedule.
We so work because we've got to get off of here now and do some more work. So
I know.
thank you, everybody. And remember, if you want a free PDF copy of my
Yes.
book, So it's Yoda's birthday present to you.
Yes.
Make sure that you whiz an email, or look, you can find us everywhere, all over social media, on the website. Just get an email to one of us, and we'll send
get
it.
to the book.
You'll get it back like that immediately, and you can share it with your friends. We don't mind. We share, don't we? Because we care, Sarah.
The more the merrier.
Yes.
The more the merrier. All right, everyone. And just a request from me. I think starting the 15th, we might need to incorporate some form of Christmas things.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Something to think about, and something for you guys to look forward to, maybe. Or maybe send us some suggestions. That could be interesting. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Sarah, aka Baby Yoda. Thank you, everybody. If you don't have a chance to watch this live, I hope you can tune in later. And remember, any wedding questions you've got at all, just ask, and I will have the answer.
Yes, you will. All right, guys.
Bye, everyone.
See you next time. Bye.